Alright, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Alan back with another video. I'm in Dawn Park in Taiwan and it's around 11 p.m. And the cool part about being in Taiwan is you can sit at a park at 11 p.m. and not worry about getting shot. So in today's video, I want to talk about a recent milestone I hit. I hit 500 subscribers after making YouTube videos for the last 10 years, inconsistently, but I think that kind of ties into a story about, I guess, perseverance in life. So I started making videos for the last 10 years just because I want to document my life. I think it's really cool to have basically a video diary of your life, and you can look back at certain points of, I just got like stared down by this lady, but you can look back at, how I was at when I was in the freshman year of college, right? And I think that's super cool. And I basically began making these videos because I wanted to share these memories with my friends, my family, and if there were random people on the internet watching these videos, that's like a plus to me. And I guess always in the back of my mind, it would be cool or nice to have for these videos to get monetized, right? I never really set out for that to be the goal until recently when I got laid off from my job, and then I was working as a product marketing manager at an AI company, and then I got laid off. And the first 20 or 30 days of getting laid off, I was just kind of chilling. I don't know, like just kind of diddly daddling, not sure exactly what to do with all my free time now. Like obviously did the usual things of traveling, hanging out with friends, yada yada yada, right? And then after a while, I started thinking about like, hey, what should I do with all this free time so I can make it productive? And then I just looked back at what I used to do for fun when I was younger, and I was making these videos because I kind of shelved making these videos since I started working at this AI company. That I would live, breathe, and think about work. Obviously, I would have hobbies like going to the gym or socializing with friends, but like, a hobby like making videos, I just shelved it. And then basically after like 20 or 30 days of being laid off, I was like, yeah, maybe I should pick up the camera and make some videos. So I basically was on TikTok and just looking at videos for inspiration. And then there's some videos that I was like, oh, like I can make a video like that and put it in my own style and format. And then I posted it on TikTok and it did relatively well. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me just also post this across platforms, right? Let me post this on YouTube as well. And that kind of got the ball rolling for me to make videos consistently. And I probably made a video every day the last 60 plus days now. And the consistency was definitely a new muscle you had to train. It's basically kind of like going to the gym. And, like the first week or two, even month of going to the gym on a consistent basis is pretty hard. But once you build that routine, it kind of just becomes like a second nature thing. Like I'm not able to feel like I completed my day without actually going to the gym. And now it's like that when I feel like I'm not able to fully complete my day after I make a video. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes making a video every day is like super difficult. I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? What? Like, what am I gonna post, right? And but even though it's like so hard to make a video every day, I usually figure out a way to do it because I just built it into a routine and habit. It kind of brings me back to getting to 500 subscribers after 10 years. And if saying out loud, right, that's obviously like such a small, tiny number in the grand scheme of things, but to me, it feels like a big deal. It feels like I've got like 5,000 subscribers, and I think it's obviously it's peanuts compared to other creators on this platform, but it's a big personal win for me. And I guess it kind of goes to show it's a lot like life, right? Like ideally you would like very linear growth, like just like kind of like shooting up. And there are people like that in life, but the reality of it for a lot of people is, life is just, it's really not linear for most people. Like life is about you know, you get a job, then you lose a job, you get a job, you lose a job. It's like when I'm making videos, you do really well. Some videos do really well, some don't do well. Um, and I think that kind of shows that life is really all about the journey and not the destination, right? I think it's kind of like it can tie back to, like, you know, when you get your first job or something, you're pretty stoked and happy about it, and you know, after you get the job, you know, 1 or 2 months in, you're like, wow, it's I worked so hard to get this job, and now I'm like, I have to work this job. And then sometimes when I reflect back on it, I'm like, wow, the really fun part about getting a job was the all the reps and interviews and prep you had to do to get that job, even though it's painful at times. You know, that's sometimes the most fun part about getting the job is the effort that it takes to ultimately get to that offer stage. And sometimes I think that's a lot about a lot of goals, right? I think like, what's I've accomplished a certain goal, like, okay, cool, like I hit 500 subscribers. That was fun, but it kind of lasts for like 1 or 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, cool, that was great. And then when I reflect back on it, I was like, wow, I think the more fun part was getting to that stage of finally hitting that 500 subscriber milestone. So that is the video for today. It's taken me 10 years to get to 500 subscribers, and hopefully it does not take another 10 years for me to get to the next 500 subscribers. And, you know, I think I'm confident as long as I'm consistent and continue to make good quality videos, I'll be able to reach, you know, the next 500 subscribers in a lot quicker fashion. And yeah, upwards and onwards. Thanks for tuning into this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.